Hello, this video will outline the EMR configuration steps for patient panel information to flow to CPAR, as well as the EMR configuration steps for consult reports and encounter information to flow to Alberta Netcare. The following configuration steps must be completed for a provider to send both patient panel data to CPAR and consult reports and patient encounter information to Alberta Netcare. First, the provider must be fully registered for CII CPAR. For more information on the registration process, please refer to the Clinic Journey section of the CII CPAR Team Toolkit. You can also go to Alberta Netcare's Learning Center CII CPAR page to connect with a CII CPAR implementation consultant. The links to both of these resources are in the notes below. The second condition is that the provider's clinic must accept the terms and conditions for TELUS EMR Mobile if they do not already use this feature. To accept these terms, please refer to the online PS Suite EMR help file called Managing Mobile Access. This online help file is linked to in the notes below. You may also call the PS Suite support team should you require additional support. If you already use TELUS Mobile, you can skip this step. Next, you will need to configure the PS Suite EMR to send patient panel information to CPAR, as well as consult reports and encounter information to Alberta Netcare. Note that to complete this part of the configuration process, you must have administrator privileges. Now, let's go to the EMR to see what steps need to be completed to configure the EMR appropriately. In the EMR, go to Settings and then click on Preferences. You will be prompted to enter your password again, so enter your password and click OK. This will open the Preferences window. In the Preferences window, click on CPAR References. Under Preferences for the entire office, ensure that you have entered your Alberta Health Facility number here. Under Preferences for specific providers, choose a provider who is registered for CII CPAR, and then in the panel number field, ensure that their provider panel number, which is also provided by Alberta Health, is entered in this field. In this case, we have made up a panel number of 123456. You will want to repeat this for all providers registered for CII CPAR. Now, if two providers share the same panel of patients, those two providers will have the same panel number. So for example, in this case, if Lori Choma and Barbara McCaffrey share the same panel, they both have the panel number 123456. The next step is to configure the PS Suite EMR to send consult reports and patient encounter information to Alberta Netcare. You can do this in the same Preferences window by choosing Outbound Interfaces from the left-hand menu. To enable sending of encounter information to Alberta Netcare, make sure that you check off this checkbox here for Outbound Encounter Interface plus Chart Summary. This setting applies to the entire office and only needs to be checked off once. For providers who would also like to upload consult reports to Alberta Netcare, ensure that you check off this checkbox here called Letters Will Be Eligible for Encounter Data Extract. Note that this checkbox only applies to the user currently signed in. It will therefore need to be checked off for each provider registered to send consult letters to Alberta Netcare. Also note that if you are a staff member who creates letters on behalf of a specialist, you must ensure that this preference is selected for your user. Otherwise, the letters will not be sent. When creating a letter, you will have the option to indicate that it is eligible for encounter data extract and should be sent to Alberta Netcare. Once you have completed these configuration steps, please click Save Changes down here. Your EMR is now configured to send both panels to CPAR and consult reports and encounter information to Alberta Netcare through CII CPAR. Hopefully, you now have the information you need to ensure that your EMR is configured to send both patient panel data to CPAR and consult reports and patient encounter information to Alberta Netcare. Should you require additional information, please refer to the PS Suite EMR CII CPAR guide that is shown here and linked to in the notes below.